Good morning, friends, and welcome to my today's lecture on Daddy by Sylvia Plath. This is the third part of the poetry. In my earlier lectures, I had talked about this poem, which is being told from the perspective of a woman addressing her father, the memory of whom has an oppressive power over her. And this poem details the speaker's struggle to break free of his influence. I had already explained the first nine paragraphs in my earlier lecture. Today I'll be taking the remaining paragraphs, stanzas that are there. We are there on stanza number 10, which reads, "Not God, but a swastika, so black no sky could squeak through. Every woman adores a fascist. The boots in the face, the brute heart of a brute like you." Now in this stanza 10, Sylvia Plath compares her father to God. She clearly sees God as an ominous, overbearing being who clouds her world. This is why she describes her father as a giant black swastika that covered the entire sky. Now the third line of the stanza that we see, "Every woman adores a fascist." It begins a sarcastic description of women and men like her father. She mockingly says, "Every woman adores a fascist," and then begins to describe the violence of men like her father. She calls and uses the word brute 3 times in the last 2 lines of this stanza. If these lines were not written in jest or as a joke, then she clearly believes that women, for some or the other reasons, tend to fall in love with violent brutes. Now the stanza number 11, "You stand at the blackboard, Daddy. In the picture I have of you, a cleft in your chin instead of your foot, but no less a devil for that. No, not any less the black man who." Now when we read through the first line of the stanza, we see that she describes her father as a teacher standing at the blackboard. Now Sylvia's father was, in fact, a professor. This is how she views her father. She can see the cleft in his chin as she imagines him standing there at the blackboard. Then she describes that the cleft that is there in his chin should actually be in his foot. This simply means that she views her father as a devil herself, as a devil himself. Now the devil is often characterized as an animal with cleft feet, and she believes he wears his cleft in his chin rather than in his foot or his feet. Now her description of her father as a black man does not refer to his skin color, but to the darkness of his soul. Now this stanza ends with the word "who," because the author breaks the stanza in the mid of the sentence, and so it ends with "who." Next stanza reads, "Bit my pretty red heart in two. I was 10 when they buried you. At 20, I tried to die and get back to you. I thought even the bones would do." Now, viewing the first line of the stanza, the speaker, or Sylvia, finishes her sentence and reveals that the father had broken her heart. She says that she has a bit pretty red heart in two. Okay? He had bit pretty her red heart in two. The rest of the stanza reveals a deeper understanding of a relationship with a father, even though he was a cruel, overbearing brute at one point in her life. She loved him dearly. It is possible that as a child she was able to love him despite his cruelty. Now, as an adult, however, she cannot see his past vices. Now, the stanza reveals that the speaker was only 10 years old when she lost her father, and that she mourned for him until she was 20 years old. She even tried to end her life in order to see him again in an afterlife, to simply have her bones buried by his bones. It would be enough of a comfort to her. That's all for today. The remaining few paragraphs that are left, I'll be explaining them in my next lecture. Till then, stay tuned, like and subscribe my channel. Goodbye and good day.